walk me through maybe a memorable transaction, like maybe one of your biggest transactions.
There's so many.
Well, give me one of the big ones and kind of walk me through a little bit of like, how did you get the client? Was there any challenges involved? And how much money did you make? And just kind of walk me through one of your favorite situations.
I will walk you through one. This is an older transaction. By the way, I'm very fortunate to have a lot of my transactions go smoothly and close. Because I am so persistent. I make sure that they close, and if there's a problem, I resolve it. So I don't have a ton of stories where it was terrible, but I will give you one story that I had a lot of hiccups in between. I had to, overcome a lot of problems, and the listing agent was like, oh my gosh, she was something else.
Wasn't good.
She was rude, and she was taking things out on me personally. And I was younger at the time. At the time, I was probably maybe around 23 years old. It was the biggest transaction that I had, so I'm bringing it up. It was over $1 million. It was in Orange County, and the commission was just over 20 grand. And I remember that listing agent, when she saw me, I think she was shocked that I was the one bringing in the buyer when she met me in person.
You were so young.
I was so young.
Yeah,
plus I'm really small too.
And you were a lot smaller back 7 years ago, right?
No. I was the same size,
but you probably looked even younger.
I look even younger because I'm just so petite.
Right.
Yeah. So she was like, wow, we were walking around and she was making comments about me to my client. And she was like, well, how'd you guys meet? She was just in shock that I was representing him. I wasn't in shock. I'm like, I deserve to be here. I work hard. I'm bringing you the buyer. I don't understand why you're acting like this. But she would make a comment like, well, this HVAC here is older than Mariah. Yeah, wow. I think the HVAC is older than Mariah.
So she was hating on you, man.
She was so hating on me. Yeah. So she was just making comments left and right, making things uncomfortable about, having me there, bringing in the buyer. But yeah, it was.
And so
I met him. You want to know how I met him? Yeah. I actually met him on Zillow.
Okay.
Yeah. So agents can pay for marketing on Zillow if they would like. And it has your picture.
Do you do that? Do you do that?
I used to.
Okay.
I don't now.
Why?
I have so many referrals that I don't have to pay.
You're like, why I'm wasting money? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you don't really pay for leads then?
I don't. I have not paid for. I paid for leads for about 1 year, and mind you, let me rephrase that. I wasn't the one that was paying for the leads. I think it's important to be resourceful. I had a lender. I went to my lender and I said, we're partners.
Yeah.
I will give you X amount of business if you invest in me. Wow. Mind you, I was younger at the time, just starting.
Smart though. Right?
And I will give you X amount of business if you invest in me. Like, what do you think about purchasing Zillow leads? And he said, yeah. So he was paying for the leads. Wow. And he was the lender. He repped the client. And
how did you think of that? How did you figure that out? Did you learn that somewhere, like at a seminar, or did you just think about it yourself?
I thought about it.
Okay.
Because we have so many lenders approaching us as realtors. So
and they want your business.
They want your business. Yeah, there's so many lenders. They're always approaching
and they're making
us.
A shit ton of money.
They are.
So yeah. Might as well.
If they need to do things, to stand out. So my lenders who do invest in me and pay for marketing, like I appreciate that. I'm loyal to them. It's not like I have 10 lenders. I only have like 2. And so, so I ended up, that's how I met the client on Zillow. Awesome. He was the lead. He actually already had a realtor friend, but he decided to work with me. And so we got him into escrow. The commission was a little over 20 grand. And that was probably one of the most memorable transactions because that was my biggest commission at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how do you approach pricing properties and negotiating deals? Like when you think about pricing a commercial property or a regular house or something like that, what's your thoughts, especially in this market right now? What are your thoughts about like pricing them out?
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the interest rates are high,
Mm-hmm.
especially compared to the last 2 years and like
Mm-hmm.
during COVID when everyone was purchasing and people were moving their appraisal contingencies and
Mm-hmm.
their interest rates were only like 2.5%.
Right.
Like those times are long gone.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you have a property and you're putting it on the market, you need to price it right the first time. And I would say price it slightly below market value. So if you're looking at the comps, whatever comps you're looking at, I would price it
Below.
less, maybe like 20
And-
to 25 grand less.
In commercial property, different, same?
In commercial property, it is different.
Okay.
So I'm speaking about residential.
Okay.
In commercial, it's actually still busy right
Is it?
now.
Okay.
I'm working with multiple buyers and multiple business owners, and it's still really, really busy. So that market's like completely different. The interest rates are still high, but there's still more opportunity for business owners to purchase a building using an SBA loan where they
Okay.
only have to put down 10%, and their payments aren't really as high compared to the residential market.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so what are, like, if you were to think about misconceptions and myths, because there are people that want to go into real estate, like
Yeah.
they want to be are there any misconceptions
Yeah.
or myths about
So
real
many,
estate agents?
so many,
what are a
yeah.
couple that you could
I
think
think
of?
a couple, one made me laugh. I was talking to my girlfriend the other day and she's not in the industry. She thinks she might want to be in the industry. And she's like, Mariah, is everyone in the industry pretty? Like, is everybody just beautiful models? Like, cause she watches those shows,
Right.
like $1 Million Listing Agent.
Right,
Like,
right. Are they all
does
pretty on
everyone
those shows?
look like
Because I
that?
don't watch them.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Okay.
She's like, is everyone walking around like a model and like that's how everyone looks? And I'm like, no, girl, that's not.
You're like, seriously?
that's a
I saw like
misconception.
3 really
I'm like,
ugly real estate
no.
agents
I'm like,
yesterday.
no. Yeah, so that's a misconception for sure.
Right.
I think that, people think real estate agents could just do whatever they want because you have so much time. You definitely don't have as much time in the beginning. You're going to be working a lot, driving a lot, hearing a lot of no's. So you really cannot give up. You can't be someone who gives up easily to be in this industry. It's not an easy industry to be in. I think it's one of the toughest industries to be in, to be honest. Yeah. So you have to really want it. It has to come from the heart and not, because you want to make a lot of money. Yeah.
And how important is it that you show up on time, like when you're meeting clients or you're meeting someone?
It's
like
so important. I know I was late today.
How important
I was
is it?
late
Like,
today.
is that like one of the first laws of
Yes.
being in real estate? I mean, really though,
Yeah.
like if you show up with a client or something
Right.
like that, is it really
Are
important?
you telling me this because I'm late?
No,
today?
no. I'm just. It was just already on here already. Just a question.
It's very
so.
important to be early. Yeah.
You should be early.
You should
even.
be 5-10 minutes
Really?
early, if that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Being
I'm
early.
just checking.
Yeah.
Just
I
because I'm
remember
not
you were
sure.
late that time in the
I'm
rain. It was raining.
Was I late?
You were late.
No,
I
I
was
was not
I didn't even
late.
have an umbrella. I didn't have an umbrella. So
Well, I
was waiting in the
wasn't.
rain.
Well, I wasn't the agent.
I was
I was the
crying.
client. The client can be late.
Yeah.
Well, I guess today you're kind of like the client though, so it's okay that you were
okay.
late
Yeah.
because you're kind of like the client.
Yeah.
So yeah, because you're the client. You're
So
my
it's
guest on
Yes.
the podcast.
Yes.
So.
True.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So I guess it was okay that you were late, but yeah, you were really late. So anyways,
Okay,
but let's go to
anyways.
the next
Yes,
question,
yes.
so no, but I do want to talk about that because as business owners, as
Right.
entrepreneurs, and I know if you're dealing with a client, I know you were dealing with a client today, and
This
that's
morning,
why
yeah.
what happened, you're closing escrow. I mean, look, I would tell any one of my
Uh-huh.
agents, close the fucking deal. You know what I mean? Like, go make it happen, do what you
Yeah.
got to do. We'll figure out how to take care of the podcast later. You know what I mean? Really, and that is important because you focused on results today.
Yeah.
That's important. Doing a podcast is not a result. This is maybe a lead potential, a lead
Yeah.
generation for you, but it's not a result. So I'm glad from the standpoint as a leader of a lot of people, and I've been running an organization of salespeople for 25 years. I'm happy that you chose to go close the deal over being on time. And I mean that. I mean, although I wasn't happy that you weren't
Thank you for
on
your
time,
forgiveness.
but I really think that I would tell every one of my agents, man, close the deal.
Yeah.
Go make it happen. Figure it out. If you got to show up late, you got to do what you got to do. You need to be there and sign the, because it's about getting checks, man. I mean, right? I mean, how important are results?
It's very, very important. And
everything.
Sometimes you're in a circumstance where you have to choose, which one, you have to move forward with or prioritize.
That's it. But it's always like, I think salespeople, more than anything, we have to focus on results. There's so many real estate agents that they do a million things that have nothing to do with results.
That's terrible.
Right? They sit in the office all day long. What the hell are they doing all day long? They're scrolling on their social media. They don't make any videos. They didn't make any videos. They didn't create any content. They didn't call any prospects. They didn't go out and prospect. They didn't network. They didn't meet anybody new this week. But they think they're real estate agents. They think they're salespeople. What do you think about that?
Oh man, that makes me take a deep breath just thinking about it.
It's scary, huh?
It is scary. Yeah, you have to take actions that are going to create results. Like if you don't have any opportunities right now, let's say you got 0 leads, you got nothing. That's pretty scary position to be in. So you have to create opportunities. You have to make those phone calls. You have to go door knock if you have to door knock. Maybe attend some seminars where you can network and meet with new people. But you have to go create the opportunity. The opportunity is not going to fall out of the sky into your lap in your office while you're scrolling on your phone. So you have to go find it. And don't be afraid to find it.
If you like this video and you want to watch another one, click right here. If you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.